Good morning. Welcome to the AM show with Amy Bennett. So it is a hoodie and hat kind of morning. I don't know what I ate. Well, I do know what I ate, but it did not agree with me through the night. So I was up through the night and I didn't set my alarm and I ended up sleeping in. So this is a Amy's getting a shower maybe at lunchtime look. I don't know what my dogs are doing. Anyway, so this morning I just wanted to, there's just been something, it's a message kind of been brewing in my heart really since this weekend, and I've been figuring out if I should share it kind of all week, and I guess today is the day. So this weekend we have been trying to open our pool. We have a above ground pool in our backyard, and just because my foot has been hurt with a boot, I've been kind of putting it off. Normally I do that in April, but I had the foot thing going on. But this past weekend I decided it was time if I was going to get it open for Memorial Day. And so this is what happens. It was nasty, really nasty. It was green, there was leaves, and y'all, this winter it was so sad. A squirrel died in our pool. He was like floating on the top. It was so sad. I had to get Scott to get him out. Anyway, I don't mean to make your Thursday sad, but the pool was just gross. And so what I did this weekend was just poured like a ton of, we use chlorine for our pool, so I just poured a ton of chlorine in there, and within a couple hours the green was gone. It was still cloudy, but the green was gone. And so I've just been letting our filter, clean out all the dead algae. But here's what I know. And my hope is once I clear out the algae, then I'm going to start seeing some other stuff that needs cleaned out. And this is what I have learned is that so I am trying to get it clear on the top, but I know, because I haven't done it yet, that there is sludge and leaves and dead bugs and all kind of stuff at the bottom of that pool. And the minute that I would go poke the bottom of that pool, it is going to stir up all the dirt, and then my nice clean pool, blue pool, is going to be green right away. It's just, I've done it over and over and over again. That's what's going to happen. And I realized as I was doing this, I was cleaning out the pool, I realized this was such a picture of how I have been living and doing the past couple years. And I think I've mentioned on my podcast, I've mentioned it here, that through the winter here, I went through some counseling. And what was happening to our pool is exactly what was happening in my life. So I was struggling with a couple of relationships in my life where I was particularly, I'm just gonna say it, with my kids. I'd be living my life trying to love my kids, and then they would do something and I would overreact in anger, and I could not figure out what was going on. And I was just praying. I'm like, Lord, help me to love my kids. Don't let me sin in my anger. I mean, I just couldn't, but I couldn't not do it. It was just an overwhelming kind of feeling. And I realized that this was me in my life trying to get the pretty blue water, and then one of my kids was going down to the bottom of my heart, the bottom of my pool in the sludge, and poking it, and all the sludge was coming up, and it was making it nasty again. Some people might call that I was triggered. And what I have learned since then, that there's a couple things, is that we have some places in our hearts where there's some sludge still, and it's often places from our childhood where we have been hurt. And it does not have to be like sexual abuse. It doesn't have to be anything terrible. It could be one small thing, even from somebody that you didn't interact with very often. And in that little place in your heart, there was a pain and a hurt, and then you probably agreed with some kind of lie from the enemy, saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, something. And from those places of hurt, we just develop this sludge, and it just kind of like goes along with us throughout our life. And when that is poked from somebody and it's similar to what how we were hurt in the past. Your body, because it protects itself, we talked about this last week, your body is just meant to protect itself. Your body goes, hey, you're getting ready to get hurt. That person's gonna get ready to hurt in the same way you are. Protect yourself, shut down, do what you need to do to react to that. And then a lot of times we sin doing that. And so what I had to learn, both in personal prayer and in counseling, is that you have to clean the bottom of your pool. You got to clean the bottom of your pool. You got to get the sludge out, and you have to recognize that it's there, and you have to get the vacuum and clean up the leaves and clean up the sludge, because if you don't, just every time that happens, it's going to just keep stirring everything up. You've got to deal with the issues at the bottom of your heart. And for me, that happened in a couple ways. One, personal prayer time, some might call it inner healing, where the Lord would just in prayer, I would just ask the Lord, show me places in my heart where I have been hurt, in my childhood where I have been hurt. And he would show me the places in my heart where I had been hurt, show me the lie that I believed and accepted because of that. And then he healed it, and I was able to forgive the person who might have hurt me. I was able to accept that he could heal that place in my heart, and it didn't change what happened. But there was something about recognizing it and dealing with it, and then believing the truth that God showed me from that. I got to a point last fall where I felt like me and God had kind of just, him and I had just done a lot of the work ourselves, and we got to a point where he said, Amy, you need to go see somebody. You need to go see a counselor. And I was really kind of upset, because I was like, God, we're doing this. You and I, we've worked all this out. Why do I need somebody else to help me? And it just got to a point where, I needed somebody else. And so that's what I did this winter, is I went to counseling, and there were some places in therapies in ways that she was able to make connections for me and give me some wisdom that I think God could have snapped his finger and shown me and taught me, but he really wanted me to work with, there's my chimes. I hope that's not too loud. He was able to show me these things with another person and work through it. And she had some therapies and ways to heal those places in my heart and show me them, and show the places that my body and my heart were trying to protect me and my family. That's what I was trying to do in anger, saying, I was panicking, like, this is a bad situation, somebody's gonna get hurt, we need to shut this down. And it was coming out in anger in my life, but it was really a hurt and a lie that I was believing. And so that was just the process of cleaning up the leaves and the sludge in the bottom. And now my pool can actually be clean. Like, I don't have to deal and just kind of, keep trying to pour in the chlorine and making my, water blue, and yet every single time somebody's hitting the bottom of my pool and stirring up all the algae and leaves again. I hope this metaphor is making sense, because this is the way I felt. Now that part has been healed. God has healed those places in my heart, and I still struggle at times, but overall I've seen amazing differences, and I can say a few months later that it really has helped. And I guess this is just, maybe some of you are struggling. I think there's this thing around counseling that people think, they're going to mess with your mind. I think that's when some people think about counseling. They're gonna let you believe all of this stuff, and they're gonna mess with your mind if you go in there. No, if you get a good Christian counselor, we talked about scripture, we talked about God healing. So they are trained, and I believe that God is using people that are trained in that to help find those places in your heart that are hurt and are believing a lie, and that will help you live more like Christ. And that's really what it's about. It's part of the working out your salvation. It's part of the healing process. You know, we talked about last week, we're still in this fleshly body. Like, even though we have a new heart and we have a spirit, like, we have this fleshly body that's just not totally working. And I believe that we have counselors and whatever in our lives that God is using to help heal those parts of ourselves. One of the verses that came to mind when I was thinking about this was Psalm 139:23. It says, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there's any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." And for me, that was a prayer that I had, and I believe the way he answered that was through inner healing prayer, and through my counselor. And so maybe that's a good next step for some of you guys if you are struggling. I will tell you, and I think I've talked about this on this morning show before, that there's a great book, I think it's John Eldredge, Moving Mountains, and he teaches you how to pray like that, and it's been truly life-changing for me. So I highly recommend that book. I think I gave away one of those copies last fall, maybe, of that book. It's just been so good for me, and I hope it would be good for you too. So that's a little part of my heart and the journey that I've been on the past couple months. And Bella, do you really hang on? Let me let her in. Goodness. Okay. All right, so let me say good morning. Marie, good morning. Marie says, "Happy Thursday, it's my Friday." Oh, lucky girl, lucky girl. Marie, Carmen, Debbie, Sherry, Carrie. Guys rhymed it. Anyway, sorry. It's always so good to see you guys on here. So good morning. It is Thursday. We're getting close to Friday. I'm getting excited about Friday because I get my boot off tomorrow. So I hope I get my boot off tomorrow. I don't have it on right now. I couldn't even like make myself put it on this morning. Gosh, it's just such a pain to put it on and off. But I feel like my foot is getting better. It's healing. And I think I'm going to be ready. Even at the beginning of this week, I was like, oh, I don't know if they should take it off. But even just the past couple days, I felt a lot more, I felt it be a lot stronger. So I think I'll be able to get it off tomorrow. So what else is going on? I don't think we have anything else interesting going on. Yeah, I think that's it. Hope you guys are doing well. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Get your day started, and I hope it's a good one. All right, we'll see you back tomorrow. Bye.